I'm sharing 10 honest, unfiltered, raw lessons that I have learned. Your girl was through a lot. From moving alone across the world during a global pandemic to now nearly paying off my student loan debt in 2 years by myself. I'll be sharing the kind of things I wish I knew sooner. It is for you if you've been chasing goals, doubting yourself, or just feeling like you're falling behind in life. And it doesn't matter if you're in your early 20s or later on in life, I truly think life is a journey. So it can be at any point in your life. Their opinions will not pay your bills. Their opinions will only make you miserable, even if they're positive opinions. This one I learned recently. As long as you give more power to what other people think, feel, understand about yourself, about you as a person, especially those that don't know you very well, that think they know you but you truly know they don't know you, then the weight that you're giving to what you think about yourself, what you feel and know about yourself, you'll never be happy. And I did say, even if it's a positive opinion. As a people pleaser in rehab, I have never been as miserable as when I was making everyone else happy, or trying to, because that's the reality. As a people pleaser, you feel like you're never making anyone happy. That's a reality. So even if you're pleasing, you're getting good opinions, you are still miserable if you're not giving what you think of yourself more power than what other people think of you. People that will actually fill your cup, that will actually make you happy, that will actually value you as you are without cutting off all the edges, without you trying to push yourself into this tiny little mold where it's not even your shape. The right people will come when you start making yourself happy. Start by what makes you happy. Start being who you truly are and who actually makes sense to you. Do what you gotta do. Be who you gotta be, regardless of other people's opinions, including that of your past self. So if you're trying to become a version of yourself that is actually confident, that actually goes after the things that you want, that is actually consistent, disciplined, brave, has great communication skills, whatever it is, if you're trying to become that version, you will need to let go of this current version that will now come to be your past version. Sorry, that's a mouthful, but you'll need to let go of this version of yourself. Because look, sometimes it's not even outside people, sometimes it's the inside voice, that outdated software that you have in your head that's actually holding you back. That is actually your biggest critic. And I know, because I have been my biggest critic my entire life. And only recently did I let that go, did I say like screw this and threw it out the window. Granted, that version is probably molded by other people pleasing, by other people's opinions, by how you were raised, by the environment that you were in, by what happened to you. I have never felt more fulfilled or happy than I do right now. I'm not gonna lie, I reached a point where I stopped caring, or I told myself I wasn't caring what other people thought. But that inner critic inside my head was actually just regurgitating everything that I have heard from other people my entire life. So it was this little voice inside my head that was holding me back. It was like an accumulation of everything that I've heard, and I thought, okay, I don't give a damn about what other people say, but actually I did. It was just in a different font, in a different presentation. So you need to let that past version die. Leave it behind. It was trying to protect you. It was trying to save you. In a similar vein, if you're here, I imagine you are probably very ambitious. You have a lot of goals. You have at least a lot of things that you want to do. And the reality is, you are not going to be able to have everything from the get-go. You know the saying, something's gotta give? If I have learned anything from spending the last 25 years of my life perpetually raising the bar for myself, because perfectionism, just constantly trying to overachieve to compensate for whatever it is that I was trying to compensate for, is that you can't do it all at once. If anyone told you that you can, it's a lie. Not from the get-go, at least. Not when you're building, not when you're in that initial planning, building phase, but soon. And I said, stay in your lane, because do not compare to what other people are doing. If you land on something that you're focusing towards and you need to compromise other things, you need to leave them behind for now, not for forever, for now, then don't look at any other lane. Other people have other priorities, other people have other circumstances. You never know where they might be getting help, or what they actually might be going through that you have no idea, and they are compromising something so much bigger that you could never compromise. So don't compare to other people. Each one of us has different priorities. So stick to your lane, know what you want to compromise. You will have to sacrifice at least one area of your life. Get real with yourself. What are you willing to sacrifice at this point in time? If it bothers you because it's an area you care about, but again, you can't do everything at once, give yourself a timeline. Give yourself a mental timeline of when this area will become your priority once again. Or check in every month or so. Check in with yourself often with this question. Continuously ask yourself, what am I willing to compromise right now? This will make sure that you remain aligned to what truly matters to you. It will make sure that you don't sacrifice an area of your life that actually matters to you. For instance, a lot of people might focus a lot on their careers at this point in their lives and sacrifice family or sacrifice friends or sacrifice relationships. Or on the contrary, some people might prioritize, I just want to travel the world and be with my friends and everything, and they sacrifice financial stability or career progression. And it's fine. If that is something that is aligned with you at this point in time, then do it. But if you know that that other area is gonna come and bite you in the ass because you actually want to have that at some point in your life, constantly check in with yourself. Something that might help you is looking at a wheel of life. I'll put it here on the screen. It has different areas of your life. It can help you to just like fill it out and see the level of where you're at in these different areas. Giving you example of me. If you have watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I'm actually pursuing quite a few things at the same time. I have a full-time job, and as I mentioned at the beginning, I moved across the world 5 years ago and managed to fully pay off my student loan debt. That has come with a lot of sacrifices, since I barely see my friends. I barely see my family right now. Like in the past few years, I have barely seen them. I don't actually have a lot of friends in the city that I live in. A lot of them moved out right after we all finished university. A lot of them are spread across the world. Obviously, like, my family is something that I do want to prioritize, and seeing my friends is also something very important to me. That's what I meant. I have a mental timeline, working really, really, really hard, relatively short term, so at long term I can have peace of mind with debt, with my finances, and then go and spend time traveling, go and spend time with my family, you know. But those are sacrifices that I've had to make in the past few years. It's okay, you know, because I have a timeline, because I know when is the finish line, and I know it'll be fine. That's how you gotta move sometimes. Let's speed this up, because if not, this is gonna be ages long. On that vein, make time for your loved ones. This might sound a bit generic right now, but I promise this might not be groundbreaking. Again, as someone that is miles and miles away from people that I love and that I miss a lot, there is something, and with all like the respect and love that I have for my loved ones and my family, there is something a little heartbreaking going back and seeing your loved ones and seeing the memories, the laughters, the experiences, the travels, everything painted on their faces because of time that you didn't get to experience with them. I haven't experienced like as much of a wake-up call of like how precious time is as whenever I go back home and visit my family. Really make time for your loved ones when you have them. This goes especially to those that not moved away from their families, that you have them on a day-to-day basis, because I feel like if you have moved away from home, you already know this feeling, you already have this feeling all the time with you. But if you don't take them for granted. This next one is about you. Prioritize your health. Please prioritize your health. Top of the list. Non-negotiable. People say that without your health you have nothing, and they told no lies. No job, no goal, no friend, no trip, no experience is worth costing you your health. Make those appointments. Call if you need to. And yes, I know our generation's aversion to calling. Believe me, I have it. I have to actually separate time before and after a call, because I just know the mental energy that it's gonna take me just to dial the number. But make the appointments, make the call. Yourself 5, 10, 20 years from now will thank you. And most importantly, and I don't want to get morbid here, but there will be a you 5, 10, 20 years from now if you make these appointments, okay? Just keep track of your health. And I know that as someone that is still young, you think you have all the time in the world, but you really don't. The problems that you see your parents, your grandparents, whoever is older than you having, those started when they were younger. They didn't just fall out of the sky. Habits contribute to your health, good or bad. So make the appointments and please prioritize your health. One person will never give you everything. And this goes for romantic and friendships. You know, for the longest time, I felt really alone, and I was very guilty of trying to find everything in one person, just because I had experienced how fleeting relationships and friendships can be, especially when I was younger. You know, I had some rough times. Always kept on trying to find everything in one person. And the truth is, cheesy, the only person that can give you everything and that actually knows everything that you need is yourself. No one can read your mind. And also, putting the pressure on someone else to be everything you need them to be is a lot. Just imagine someone putting that pressure on you. You are your own individual. Why and how could you be possible to do that for someone else? And listen, I'm not saying lower your bar in romantic relationships, and have very clear what you need from a romantic relationship, what makes you feel valued, what makes you feel seen and respected and heard. And the same goes to your friendships. Like, have standards for everyone's sake. Have standards. Within those standards, no one can fill your cup entirely. Only you can do that. Talking about standards, boundaries. Boundaries benefit both you and others. Not only a selfish thing to have boundaries. You cannot be a good friend if you're always drained, if you're always tired, or if you're miserable with your life, honestly. You cannot give others what you don't have here. So it'll benefit you. It'll benefit the people that you love in your life. Only if those people are benefiting from you not having boundaries, then they will get mad and then show a little bit their true colors. It can actually help you see who you actually want and who you actually don't want in your life. Do it from a place of love. You may be asking, what's it? Everything. Whatever it is that you're trying to pursue, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve or change, you want to lose or gain weight, from wanting to be healthier, from wanting to be stronger, from wanting to be able to run around and be energized and chase your little nephews or siblings or your friends, to start a YouTube channel, a TikTok account, write a book, start a business, because you truly enjoy the process of creating, the craft of writing, because you really truly love and believe in the business idea, the research and creativity that it takes to put together a new and innovative business idea. Move from your heart, especially when it comes to these topics of like careers or passions. Act from your heart when it comes to your friendships and your loved ones, and even people you might not love. You know, karma is real. And this might sound too woo-woo for a lot of people, but you know, I know you all know when you're doing something that it comes truly and genuinely from a good place, from joy, from love, and when you're not. Do not compromise, move from there, and I assure you, life will improve massively. And you will one day wake up and you will have a bunch of things to be grateful for. Now, I don't know if I will leave this example here. Something that happened to me. After my first year in university, it was still COVID pandemic, COVID restrictions. I somehow managed to land an internship, top, like multinational global company, like very sought after company. I actually was a mistake in hiring because they weren't hiring first years, and I found that out afterwards. I was the only first year in that cohort of interns because they were looking for the interns to start working next summer, and it was my first year of uni. I could not start working full-time next summer. At the end of that internship, I did it well, satisfied the requirements, and because they couldn't offer me a full-time position because I wasn't available for a full-time position next summer, they offered me a return internship with the very likely possibility that it would lead to a full-time position next, like my third year of university. I would have been graduating by then. I loved my team, I loved my manager. The only thing I didn't love was what I was doing. I was miserable doing what I was doing. It was very like sales related. No shade to the people in sales. I admire you. Honestly, and I don't say this lightly, I ended up having a depressive episode after this internship. Granted, I also lost a really close family member during that time, so it just kind of all fell upon me. I was really miserable. As a first year student going into her second year, living abroad, scared for her life, honestly. I'm in England, I'm from Ecuador, and they're potentially offering me, after my first year of university, almost assured graduate placement. Almost a no-brainer. And it was actually also very good pay. Like, it was high-paying job. I remember my brother and just other people in my family just calling me and being like, why are you even thinking about this? Like, go for it, take the opportunity. I'm telling you guys, I'm repaying my student loan. I had a lot of debt to look forward to paying once I graduated, so it wasn't like something I was taking lightly, but I just knew I was miserable that entire time. And you were telling me that I need to go back the next summer and do the same thing that made me miserable this summer, and then graduate and do that for however many years I stay in that position. Now, you probably already guessed it, I did not take that. I was scared shitless that I didn't take this opportunity that could have saved me years. How I was gonna stay here to like live and work and build a life, because I love my country, but I didn't want to go back. I knew that I wanted to stay and look for opportunities abroad. I am also in a relationship. I was starting to build a life here. I always saw myself as like building a life outside. All this to say that I didn't take it because I knew in my heart of hearts, perhaps this will be a story for another time, but because this is already gonna be ages long, but let's just say it all worked out so much better. I'm so happy with the job that I have right now. I have a good pay. I work remotely, which like, yes. I wouldn't have any of that if I would have said yes. Follow your heart, people. Don't inflate your lifestyle. This goes mainly for my like early grad or perhaps people going into university, but it applies to anyone, to be honest. Don't inflate your lifestyle after either your first high-paying full-time job, real job, or whenever you get a new stream of income or a promotion. What does it mean? Let me be very visual with you. If you're earning X amount of money before you get this job, this raise, this promotion, new income, whatever it is, you're earning here. Your costs of living, your expenses are here. Okay, you have this wiggle room between what you're putting in and what's coming out. Now, if this, your income gets raised here, sorry that I'm using my hands for this, lifestyle inflation would be you going, okay, and your expenses start to match, and this wiggle room never grows. So you're always left with the same amount of money in your bank account after the month ends. Your spending is becoming proportional to how much you're earning. And why do I say this? Because if you're in debt, are saving up for a house, for a car, for a trip, you're planning to travel the world soon, I imagine you'll still need to save money. First piece of advice, save, invest. I'm no financial advisor here. With how the world is right now, with the uncertainty, with how much everything is inflating in prices, in costs, just the unemployment, the job market, you never know. Prioritize, I would say, having an emergency fund, having some savings, just back you up in case of anything, in case of an accident, who knows? And also, not only if something happens, to learn how to manage your money. I would really prioritize financial literacy. Time is your best friend right now. I promise, you'll thank me. Now we're getting to the last two for my younger friends here. Get in some work experience as early as you can. Even if you know you don't want to go into corporate, into a regular 9-to-5, but you're lost on what you actually want to do, which was my case. Never was one of those people that was just immediately passionate for something, that wanted to go for medicine or for law or something super very direct. I'm a multi-passionate individual, which has proven to be a nuisance a lot of the times when it comes to choosing your career. I feel you, but I promise this will help you out a lot. It's basically failing faster, fail faster, which means try out as many things as you possibly can in as little amount of time as possible. And this might mean, especially if you're very young and perhaps you're still living at home and you can afford doing this, mirror people. You just like follow a person around. You're not necessarily helping them do any work, or I don't know, I guess it's similar to an unpaid internship. You can do it for a week. Get your feet on the ground, get your hands dirty, either get internships or wherever you're gonna get hired, especially if it's your first or your second job. Work wherever it vaguely rings a bell that it might be something that interests you, or even if it doesn't ring a bell, it will go in your CV and you will get transferable skills. It will help you out during tough times to have work experiences in your back pocket, especially if you're coming fresh out of uni. And thank you who made it this far. There is time. I don't care about your age, how old you are, there is time. Stop running and running. And this one is partly a reminder to myself. Stop the restlessness, stop the urgency just for a moment. Enjoy this part. Enjoy wherever it is that you're at. Enjoy this stage that you're in, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's everything you never wanted. I know how hard that can be, but enjoy this version of yourself. It's more fleeting than it seems. You're never gonna be who you are, where you are right now. Again, you know how long it took, how much it's taken to be here right now. So slow down and enjoy it. Savor it. Go run and dance like a little kid. Who says only kids can be silly? Why is it so bad to still have fun when you grow older and just be silly and be perceived being silly? And I mean eyes watering, silent laughter, belly aching type of fun and silliness. I don't mean the type of fun that it's let me take a picture to prove that I was here. Just take a little breath. You're doing better than you think you are. And I feel like this is almost a message for both my future, past, and present self as well. You're doing better than you think you are. Thank you so much for watching. I hope something useful, any of these advice and tips helped you out. If you wanna come hang out, we have a good time on my channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if this is your type of content, I'm sure there is a lot of advice that I didn't mention in this video, so comment down below any advice that you have for anyone. Honestly, let's just help each other out.